Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I've got a fantastic Father's Day or guy collection from our friends at Hunky Dory Crafts with these fantastic cutting dies. We've got a toolbox, we've got crafty beers, we've got rock and roll, and also from hot off the press we have got pickup truck and beer dazzle stickers. I can't wait to show you what we came up with, but this first one is a great little easel card. Look at that. We're just gonna pop that right behind here, and look at that, stands right up. We have so much more to show you, so come back and play with us. All right, so let's take a look at our little beer easel card. So for this one, I used a 6.5 by 5 inch card. If you open it up, I went ahead and scored right across the center, so at the 2.5 inch mark, so that this bends over. And then it just tucks right behind this strip of paper on the back that has foam tape on it. And that just gives something to prop up on. So I also covered my card with this right here from Wood and Woodlands 12 by 12 paper pack. And you can see the little seam here goes right along the bottom edge. And then I used the rest of it right there on the inside. I used a combination of these beer dazzle stickers. It comes with all these great greetings on here for birthday and Father's Day. And these great cutting dies, crafty beers from, these are from Hunky Dory Crafts, they're Moonstone. And we've got the two here. Oh, this one slipped off. There's the bottle cap, the bottle opener, the crafty beers right here. And I used some metallic cardstock, both silver and gold, for the bottle opener and the bottle caps. Now let's talk about how I did little shining bits here and this bubbly foam right here. So first of all, let's talk about how to color these. So I've got my little bottle here, and I've got my little beer there. And so I used these Tri-Blend marker colors. So we've got earth brown, and we've got golden brown and tan. I used those for the beer colors. And then for the outside of the glass edge, I used this ice gray blend, and I used the lightest shade on that one. As you can see here, I went around the outside edge with the light gray. And then the inside part, I used the golden brown. So I used the dark and the medium shade. So started off with the dark shade right over here, and then did the medium shade on this side. So now all we have to do is add a little fluffy stuff. This right here, it is so fun, but we're gonna need a little craft mat and a heat gun for this. So what we're gonna do is, we're going to squeeze some of this out on the top where all the foam is. And it's best to use a thin layer, and I just put a thin amount on and then just use the nozzle to kind of spread it around as I'm squeezing it out. If you put a thick layer on, you might want to do it one layer at a time, because if you put it on too thick, it will, when you heat it with the heat gun, it'll start bubbling, but it won't dry on the inside because that heat just can't get that far down. So layers is a good idea. So that's pretty thin layer right there. Now you can let that dry just as it is, okay? It'll probably take, overnight to dry, but you could also take a heat gun and then we're just gonna watch as this bubbles up and dries at the same time. There we go. See if I can do this and show you how to do it without burning myself. It's just kind of bubbling up a little bit and getting more dimension. Kind of looks like popcorn. Ooh, there we go. So there you go. It's so cool, and it's firm. Coming off. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is use a little crystal lacquer. That's this one right here. So Now I did the fluffy stuff on these pieces, and then I didn't put crystal lacquer on them. Just kind of wanted to do a variation. And then on this one, I'm going to use the tan on the bottle. I'm going to use the tan color. And so what we're going to do is color left side, the darker shade, like that. And then I'm going to go to the medium. Ooh, that medium is not looking good. Let's just continue with that dark side all the way over. I think I've got a dud in my collection of pens. We'll just go all the way over like this. And then we'll just use a little bit of that medium because it's very squeaky. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. That means it's drying out. I obviously used this one a lot when I was doing my beers. All right, there's the lightest shade. Wow. All right, so then I'm going to take this same bottle dye and then I cut it from black, and I'm just going to cut away the label, which is right in the middle. Right, and then we're going to take a little bit of glue. Just going to glue that on right there. Now you could stop right there and not add anything else to that. I got to get the bottle cap, forgot that part. Or you could put a little glossy stuff on there with our little 3D lacquer. And I just love the little touches of realism on the card that just make it so much more fun. So, and then maybe we can zoom in on this a little bit, but I'm just going to take the nozzle again and I'm just spreading that around. And you want to do, once again, a thin layer, just like that. And then we're going to do the bottom part. And I just like to let this dry for a couple hours as well, just to make sure it's not tacky. Because if you're sliding it into an envelope, we wouldn't want that. And then it'll just kind of rest itself a little bit and settle in there. And for this last one, we have the Dazzle sticker. Now here's the thing with the Dazzle stickers. You can use the crystal lacquer when you're working with the Dazzle sticker. I would avoid, however, using the fluffy stuff with the Dazzle sticker because the heat gun will make the sticker shrivel up. Okay, so we want to kind of avoid that part. So what I'm going to do with these is the little bubbles. I'm going to take the light gray here, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill in those bubbles. Just like that. And I'm going to go back to, let's do a dark color for this one. They did different colors. So we're going to start off with the darkest colors for those people who like the dark beer. Okay, and we're going to go all the way around those little bubbles. And then we're going to go to the medium shade. There. And we're just blending those two colors together. All the way up here. And then we're going to switch to that lighter shade. And we're just going to cover the rest of that in. And be sure to let me know in the comments if you guys like any more coloring tips. You know, everybody has their own way of doing it. I am by no means an expert at this, but I do have a few tips and tricks. And I just really like the Tri-Blend markers because I'm not great at blending, so this really helps me out a lot. All right. So there we go there, and then you can just take the lighter one. Just fill these in, or you could fill them in with gray. All right, and then you want to take the the lightest shade of the golden brown, that's the tan, the golden brown, and just kind of go around the foam edge a little bit, just like that. It has a little bit of color. that. And now we can just add a little bit of that crystal lacquer, just as we did before, kind of go right over the surface of that. And then that really just glosses that up. And you can do one layer and then you can wait till that dries and then you can go back and do another layer. You want to make that really thick. Mine's kind of got some lines in it, and it'll just, what it'll do is just kind of smooth out as it has time to dry. So those are the 3 types of little, little bottles and glasses that I did for this card right here. All right, so let's move on to the next one. All right, so this card, you guys, right here, I used the little toolbox cutting die, which was really fun to use. And how I made my little fence right here is I took strips of brown cardstock and I used the wood texture embossing folder, and I just put those little strips in right there. Actually, I liked to turn it this way so that the debossed area was on the top. Put it in like that, run it through your die cutting machine. You can mist it with a little bit of water, but this is a thinner cardstock, so I don't have any problem getting a really nice emboss with that. But you're gonna run it right through, and then what you're gonna get is this. Okay, it looks like a board. Noticed I had already cut them and notched them. And then what I just like to do is take a ink pad that has a nice firm surface instead of one that's like a sponge. And we're just gonna take that and go right over, I should have used my craft mat, right over the surface of that to really bring out the definition there. It's like that. And then what I did is I put them 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I put one in between each one. And then I took a little smaller strip and went across that way. That's how I built my fence. I did ink, this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card, and I did ink the top of that with a little light blue before I built my fence. Those are, of course, Happy Birthday Dazzle stickers. You could also do a Father's Day one. And then I personalized that Grandpa with our little family and friends Dazzle stickers. And that, of course, has son and dad and all kinds of things. And then to make this little toolbox, I went ahead and die cut the toolbox from tan, and then I just used a little bit of ink. This is my favorite Friar Brown ink, and just went around the edges of that, okay, just like this, just to give that a little bit of dimension there. And then I die cut this a second time, and then cut out this centerpiece right there. Just pop that right out. And then I put that through the wood grain embossing folder. And then we're gonna use this. I like to use this just to give a softer look when applying my ink right to the surface there. Don't forget the edges. And then I took some foam tape for this one and just foam taped it right to the center of this one, just to give it a little extra detail. And then I die cut all these fun little tools, some of them from white and then inked the edge, and then some of them from black, and then just cut them apart and just added sort of 2 layers of cardstock for each one, just to give those little added touches of realism, which are just really fun. All right, so that's this one. What else have we got? Oh yeah, this one is so fun. This is the rock and roll guitar. And for this one, here is our rock and roll guitar. So for this one, I used star holographic paper, and I also used silver cardstock with the glitter. And I die cut the guitar once from the gold star and once from the silver glitter cardstock. And then I just sort of cut those pieces apart and glued those together. And then oh, I should show you the dies on the back. So we've got the guitar, the headphones, the little guitar pick, the stars, the little Shazam lightning bolt right there. And that was really fun together. And this one I just simply put sun on there. That was a really fun one. The last one we want to look at are little car dazzle stickers. Or not car, they're pickup trucks. All right, so for the pickup truck, right here, this is a 6.5 by 5 inch card. And for this, I used a different paper pack. This is Wood and Textures 8.5 by 11. This is a great one just to have in your stash, in your toolkit for making those masculine cards. So it's got brick, it's got wood, it's got weathered wood, but it's also got this great like diamond plate right there. And I used that along with some wood for my background of my card. And then I simply took my dazzle, truck dazzle. I used a black one here. And I just put it on some white cardstock. I used my tiny scissors to cut out. And I used a blue, this one is True Blue Tri-Blend marker to color my truck. And then I also used the ice gray marker for the windshield, for the grill, and for the tires. And then I glued that just to it. This is just a series of rectangles. So we've got a large rectangle, 2 small ones, another larger one, and they're all just overlapping to create a nice little landing spot for our pickup truck. I added this little detail right here, kind of like a hood ornament situation. I'm not sure what that is, but it's an emblem. Put that right there, Dad, and then I added this. It's always like, do you add ribbon to masculine cards? But I like to add a little bow tie. So that one, this is our bow dies. They're very quick and easy to put together. I use the largest die here. This is the back part of this, and then this is the center. You just simply fold, you die cut one of these and then just fold these to the center and then glue it to this piece, and then this piece just gets wrapped around the two. It's very simple to put together, and I love that it's got some dimension there. This one even looks good when it's flattened for mailing, so no worries about that. So you guys, this is a great collection for Father's Day, for masculine birthdays. I think we've kind of covered it all here. Definitely check out the Money Saver. It's a great deal. It's not too late to get started on your masculine cards. If not for Father's Day, then just to have some in your stash. So the Money Saver is right there on the right-hand side of the screen. Every item is listed individually down below the video. You can also click on each card photo below the video, and it'll show you the entire list of supplies. If you're watching us on YouTube, we haven't forgot about you. Just look in the description box and you'll see a link that will take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page, and you'll see all the things I just talked about. Hey, a thumbs up is really appreciated. It helps people find our channel. And subscribe, because we do 4 to 5 videos a week and we wouldn't want you to miss a thing. Thanks for joining me today, you guys, and I'll see you next time.